I'm right back at it. We kind of just talked about most of the stuff that I wanted to talk about in the last video, which I just finished maybe 10, 12 minutes ago. So, oh shit, I gotta feed my dog. Did my alarm not go off for that? Anyway, so let me just do this real quick. We have, I mean, this candle ended up closing quite strong. Like, opened on its high, closed on its low. Very, 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 very strong. Immediately has triggered. I mean, it's kind of hard to say that this is what's triggering your short because you kind of probably get the short trigger on this candle at 44.8. It's not the best because you have kind of a like this wick, this bar that is entirely inside the wick, this bar that is, for the most part, traversing the same um, range as the former as the two candles before it. I'm gonna open this up just a little bit here. Let's zoom in so it's a lot easier to see. Right, this is just all very clearly four candles, same range, right? So it kind of feels weird to be shorting below the range. So I guess there's no trigger necessarily like that, but at the same time, because we have this huge range, right? Where we did this swing failure at the top of that range breakout failure there. This is kind of effectively a small bar at the top of the range. Like if you do take this short, you're probably shorting here. You probably put your stop here. I guess you can put the stop all the way up here, but it's not really that safe just because it's not unreasonable to take that out again. I guess this isn't particularly safe either, but if you are taking this, it's purely on a momentum play that we're going to be taking at the very least to get into back towards the middle of the range. We don't know necessarily that we're going to take it all the way down to the bottom of the range, but this is kind of the look that you're looking for, kind of a three to one R kind of situation. And now you're feeling a little bit more decent, and you can maybe tighten the stop a little bit. Um, I don't know if it makes sense to do quite a um, full break-even stop here just yet, but maybe because you're already up like 1.5% if you did take a short at kind of 44.9. Anyway, it kind of makes sense, I suppose, to take the short here. I don't think it makes as much sense to take the short at the bottom of this candle because we could just possibly push back up into 44.8 range before doing more of a dump, but kind of like that. And of course, because this is a trading range, like it's not unreasonable for us to go all the way back up. So I think it's maybe too aggressive to be taking a momentum short here. So I will not be taking that trade at this time. And I didn't get in up here, so I don't really have a position at this time. But yeah, this is certainly. See, there's just no trigger. There's just no like trade trigger here. We don't really have a like a sell signal. So on the 4 hour anyway. Maybe on lower time frames, you can probably find a sell signal somewhere, like 15-minute chart. Kind of once we break this wedge-ish kind of pattern here we have, right? Um, you can probably take a short underneath this bar here. Tight stop up here, 45.8, and you short 45.4. It's like a 1% stop, but it's probably going to work out. And it works out like on the immediately ensuing candle. Like it's a pretty nasty candle. You can probably look to take some profits, shave profits here, right at the bottom of this level, maybe somewhere in here. And like even that, you're going to get about 1% at least on what you shave. You're not like because you have such a great entry at the top of the range. You're not going to shave everything, but you're just going to shave a little bit so that maybe your stop becomes a little bit less of a problem, so that your entry is now probably closer to your stop and you're risking very little. And then when you get this candle, pretty nice. And then this candle, of course, you're still feeling great about your short. So until we start to see some sort of bullishness, which this is a major trend line, I guess, that we're kind of doing. This is kind of the first leg. And the reason we like this final push down here is because you have this kind of hitting your 1-to-1. if we didn't, if we stop kind of here and then start to push back up here, you're feeling a little bit truncated on the short. So this is a little bit nice that you get the 1-to-1, and now we definitely would like to see it kind of consolidate here and then continue to push down lower if you're in a short. So um, yeah, that last 4 hour candle, pretty gross. This is really not the candle that you want to see, where you take out the high of the um, mall and then push back down. But yeah, this is we can ignore this and effectively say that we're still within this trading range of the mall. And in that case, you're probably still trying to be patient, wait for some sort of resolution to the mall. When you add in the fact that we took out the high of the mall and then retraced back into it, that's what makes this ugly. If we don't take out that high and we just have an inside bar, you're not feeling as bad about this being a red ass bar. If you're in a long, that is, um, you still kind of have, this is like somewhat of a last hope, I guess. But yeah, we could have a bounce here. No doubt we could have a bounce here and push back up to the high of the mall and keep respecting this trend line. But I think as soon as this trend line gets disrespected and we flip the trend line, I think we should be taking a shot back at 41. So that is probably the play that I'm going to be looking for today. Probably going to be looking for a short to these 41s. So yeah, I don't want to do too much on this one. We'll just keep it short. We'll take a look at the 1 hour. We'll see how this 1 hour reacts to, I mean, we're getting close to this EMA as well. We'll see how this 1 hour reacts to the 1-to-1, like we said, and then to the trend line that we just drew. Why did I delete it, dog? Right, we definitely want to see what type of reaction we get here on this 1 hour chart. 15-minute chart is looking, yeah, probably depend, like if we get this and then the next bar is kind of up, if we get this next bar up and then kind of keep pushing like this, then maybe we can put in like a double bottom here and then, you know, push back up to the high again. Or maybe then we get an opportunity to short. I don't know. Who the F knows, right? Let's take a look at the daily. Again, yeah, this daily is important because bears definitely going to want to see it close underneath 44.4. Bulls definitely want to see it close above 44.4, but again, it's a doji. This is now barbed wire here, but it's barbed wire above the EMA. So it's a little nasty to be taking trades in here. You got to be a little bit careful, but probably size down a little bit. But I think we have on lower time frames a little bit more clarity. We don't have that clarity yet, but I think we're assessing possible. Like we're starting to acknowledge a few things that could happen that could give us a little bit more clarity. And yeah, probably most likely going to be looking for more weakness from bulls, a little more strength from the bears, and then some sort of short somewhere over here to give us a shot to take us down to 42, 41. And then once we get there, probably looking like going to be a long back up to this level kind of thing, you know. And then because we'll have taken so much time on this, like that will be the major trend line break. This would be like the last, I would expect this will be the last push before we take another shot at kind of 40K. Like maybe we get a little higher high and then we probably try and revisit 40K. I'm not sure if we're going to end up going down to 30s. We're going to have to see how this develops. I do think still there should be, because here's the thing. This is our first trendline break, so we still need to have a test of the low. Whether we get a lower low or a higher low, or like a double bottom, we still need to get a test of this low. And that test of the low could happen like all the way up at 50K, and that test of the low could just push us down to 44K, and then we continue higher. Like it could be that big of a no, God, I always do this. I need my XBT chart, brah. Jesus. We have this, right? I hope I didn't already delete everything. I probably already did delete everything off of that chart. Shield. Anyway, the same way that Same way that we have this major trend line break, and we're going to be looking for, once we get a retracement, we're going to be looking for a higher high test or a lower high test or a double top test, right? We still need to be getting that on this major trend line. So I gotta check on this fucking BTC perp chart, make sure I didn't delete everything. Of course I did delete everything. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I need all this back, right? So annoying. Okay, I'm just gonna stop the video.